Let's go. Let's go. So welcome back to Semen Retention. If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. Today I just want to talk about quite a few things actually. It's just going to be a bit of a off the top of the dome kind of episode here on Semen Retention. But of course we're going to tie it back into semen retention. Fellas, if you are interested on how long my streak has been going on for, it's been 15 months. As of the weekend, I've passed 15 months of pure semen retention. So, you know, we don't have to go into all the history. Just look at my other episodes and all that sort of stuff. But today, I want to talk about signs of, you know, maybe ascension symptoms, like moving up too fast, improving too quickly, ascending too high before you're ready to get there. So I describe this as spiritual vertigo. So vertigo is when you feel like your head's spinning, you're dizzy, you feel like you're falling, you feel like you're just not really grounded. And I found that I've been doing a lot of practices, spiritual practices, and they've been so beneficial, and I've enjoyed every single element of self-improvement and getting onto this higher frequency. But there comes a point, and I'm going to be completely honest, there comes a point where I just feel like, okay, I'm taking too much of this higher frequency in, and I've just got to perch myself on the branch for a second like a bird, just chilling on the branch, maybe for a few hours, maybe for a whole week, whatever it is, and then I start flapping my wings again, continuing on my journey. So this weekend, a fantastic weekend for me as a musician, earning plenty of money, paying off a lot of debts that are due. But, you know, this is all part of the whole journey, is that you're kind of going to go through ebbs and flows and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I'm just kind of at a point where I'm like, okay, I've got to keep on pushing hard. But when I don't play my gigs, so on my days off, I'm always kind of getting this kind of restless energy. I've been working on an album, so that's been good. That's been directing my focus and my energy towards something, but that's going to finish soon. I'm going to be wrapping up on that. And I've got more things to do after that, but I can't constantly just be doing, you know, playing guitar and recording music and writing songs. There's got to be a lot more. So I do my cooking, I do my gardening, I do all this kind of stuff. And then that combined with stuff like fasting and purifying my environment, you know, getting the sage out and cleansing every single room, burning some incense, some candles, putting on some nice music, all that kind of stuff. I'm purifying myself at a rapid rate. So if you think about all this mud, you know, dried up on my skin, it's like I've just got like a steaming hot, really scorching hot shower going on, and I've got the soap and I've got the scour, and I'm just going away, and all that shit is washing off me. But as a result, it's kind of like when a farrier cleans a horse's hooves. Like, they have all this mud build up on the bottom of their hooves. They've got to get a knife out, and then they literally cut into the hoof of a horse, and sometimes the horse actually bleeds. And that's what I feel like is like the spiritual vertigo that I feel right now, is that, you know, I've been cleansing myself. I've been cutting off a lot of junk, a lot of trash, but now I kind of hurt a little bit. It's the growing pains. It's the nakedness. It's the comfort that no longer exists. The coldness of being awake. And so what I've found is that I have dialed back the intensity of my practices a little bit. What that means is that, you know, I'm not fasting as much. I'm like, okay, that's okay. You've proven to yourself that you can fast, and I will fast for as long as I can. But there comes a point when you're fasting, and let me know in the comments if you feel this too, but when you're fasting regularly, like I'm talking about 3 to 4 times a week, it just gets like the power of your kind of higher chakras, like your throat, third eye, and crown, they just kind of they're really burning bright. And when you kind of don't have anything else to kind of channel that energy into, when you don't have any more songs to write, when you don't have, you know, any more things to write, you don't have any more things to say on the camera, it just feels like you are running at 1,000,000 volts and you've got all this prana, this energy that's top heavy. And then you do things like working out, like swimming or running or walking or lifting weights. And that's good, but the energy is still hot and it's high. And look, I honestly just think that sometimes you just got to be like, okay, well, I need to maybe eat some food. I maybe need to eat some, you know, some dense foods just to kind of get used to this high frequency. So when we're feeling that spiritual vertigo, sometimes we need to condition ourselves into feeling those higher frequencies. And by conditioning ourselves to feeling those high frequencies, that means taking a break from them as well, you know? So on the weekend, I played, I think 7 or 8 sets of music. So about 8 hours worth of singing and playing guitar. One of the main reasons why I don't do videos on the weekend is because I can't speak. I literally cannot. I can't be wasting my voice on videos and damaging my voice. So, you know, that's part of that kind of intense 8-set period that I had on a Saturday, was to take little breaks. So I had to take breaks from it. But the thing is that I've done a couple of these huge mammoth kind of musical commitments before, where I've had 2 gigs on a day, and I'm talking about 8 hours worth of playing music. I've had a few of those in the past, and I've proven to myself I can do it. So when I realized I could do it, I realized that I was just conditioning myself into reaching a higher level of endurance, a higher level of musicianship, a higher level of holding on to my energy, retaining my energy, and pushing it towards and projecting it towards the audience and the public, so that they can feed on all this energy that I have. But when I don't have a gig and I'm just at my home by myself and I've got that rock star kind of energy, oh, you better believe I'm going insane. So my thing is that I've decided to pull back on the fasting a little bit, even if it means that I'm not going to reach my certain goals. I don't even really have fitness goals, to be honest. It's more of just like, what does my body feel right now? Right here in Melbourne, in Australia, it is abysmal. It's so cold, grey. But I just finished my swimming subscription. So you guys probably know, if you've subscribed to my channel, I used to go swimming at a pool, and that pool shut down, so I could only go to the sauna and the spa as of the last 2 weeks. But now that subscription's ended, so now I've got to figure out a new way to get back into a fitness routine, and I'm going to go back to running, riding my bike, going for walks, and going for swims in the freezing cold water of the beach. So it's a moment of transition. It's a moment of change for me right now. I've felt this spiritual vertigo, and I think that was just a sign from God, from the universe, from myself, just saying, look, you've made the appropriate changes spiritually, but now you need to make those changes manifest into the physical world. So you need to change things up. You need to change your studio. You need to put that LED light that you said you were going to put up above your guitars so it looks smick. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you reckon my studio looks kind of cool right now? So, you know, you need to start to realize that these higher dimensions, these higher frequencies need to start manifesting into your life. So that might even mean, okay, looking in your garden, replanting things into different positions so they get more sunlight or less sunlight depending on the plant. You know, maybe going into your car, just cleaning up your car a little bit. Maybe hustling for more work because you've got so much energy. You're like, this is kind of going to waste. I should just be out there, like, you know, earning a few more dollars. You know, there's nothing wrong with earning more money, that's for sure. So for me, I've just been like looking at alternative ways to use this energy, and it's still a work in progress. And, you know, I feel like the vertigo is going to come back at some point when I keep refining more and more and more. And sometimes I've had little kind of moments where I feel compelled to just say my truth, to just project my truth out there on like these videos or in social media or in person to people. And I don't care if people don't resonate with it, because I know I've felt this internally. I know that other people have felt this as well, that it's just important for me to express a different frequency into the collective consciousness. And when people start to experience higher frequencies in the collective consciousness, speak up more and more, the collective are going to start to ascend. And with that collective ascension, we are all going to be operating on that higher frequency and figuring out how to deal with those frequencies and energies as a collective unit. But at the moment, we only have a certain minority, a very small minority of people on semen retention, on celibacy, on, ovum retention, and like practicing spiritual things, that we don't really have a community outside of things like social media and YouTube, and maybe that one person out of your whole country that is practicing these things. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that I'm on right now, is that this spiritual vertigo, it gets a bit too much at times, and sometimes you just gotta hold yourself back a little bit. I had so many things that I wanted to change. Like I wanted to give up coffee, I wanted to fast so much, I wanted to, there was so many things that I wanted to like optimize my health with, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still pushing towards it. But the speed of which I was pushing towards was unsustainable, and I could tell that I would probably just lose my mind if I went too hard at myself. So there's a humbling kind of like ego death within that kind of experience where you're like, look, it's like the flying towards the sun and then your wings start to burn. It's like the closer you're going to get, the more likely you're going to actually deteriorate and burn. Until maybe one day you actually transform and metamorph into a being. Being meaning something that is just being, not striving, that can actually handle that amount of frequency, that amount of radiation, that amount of heat, that pressure, Every single week I feel the pressure building, and it's making me stronger. It's just, I feel that strength rising up through me. However, there is always just a little bit too much at times that you just gotta be like, okay, I gotta put this weight down. I can't lift that right now, okay? But I will get there one day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Welcome to Semen Retention. If it's your first time, if you're here again, thank you for coming back. I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment how you're going. Let me know how you guys are going, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you guys.